Oh, there is a question in the chat.
Okay.
Shasta asked, if you create two opportunities for the same client in contract, how do you delete one of them?
Let me check and see. I'm not sure. So here, if you click on all opportunities, it'll list everything that you have available. I wonder if, let's see if there's a phase to take it out. Oh, right here. Go ahead and just click lost opportunity. And then that way it'll get rid of that one.
Hi, Jackie. Sorry, hi, Leslie. If it is in contract, I was trying to figure it out. I think I was not able to delete it. The only thing I was able to do was to archive it. By mistake, I created two for the same when I was entering it in.
So here in the details page, can you click lost opportunity? And that'll probably, that'll remove it from the trying to be reviewed.
Okay, so how did you get to the details page from the opportunity you went to?
So here's the opportunity dashboard. And then up here at the top, all opportunities.
Got it.
And then you click on the one you want to get rid of. Let's see, what does this do? Archive, yeah. So if you click on the one you want, over here it says lost opportunity, click that.
I see, got it, okay.
Yeah. So that it'll still show up in your dashboard, but Mark won't see it, I don't think, in order to review it. If he does, he might say something to you like, hey, I need a contract cancellation or whatever the form is.
Got it.
Just let him know that it was a duplicate.
Sounds good. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So when you log into Command, this is where you'll start. And I believe that there's classes to learn how to enter your contacts and other things in order to play around with the command, to use it for your marketing, for your database, all of that. That's what I believe the girls are handling, Olivia and Jacqueline. If not, chime in at any time, Olivia, let me know. So for the ability to create an opportunity, you will need to have the contact, either the buyer or the seller, in your contacts in order to create the opportunity for them. So you would need to just, I believe, basic information to get started, but I suggest that you guys definitely use this as your database. Because when you log here into opportunities, which is the little hands here at the side, it gives you a dashboard that you can keep track of where and what phase your transactions are in. And that's for each one of your clients. So you can create this opportunity to keep track of your appointments. You can create the opportunity to keep track of where you are in the listing phase or in the selling phase. That's what each one of these little things are here. Now, this is for your information. It is not something that the Market Center reviews. This is what you do for each one of your opportunities to keep track of it. Over here, because of the opportunities and the information that you put in, it keeps track of how much money these leads or your clients, how much money could potentially be yours, depending upon how the transactions go and how the relationships with your clients go. Now, again, this is your information. This is not something that the Market Center will review. But in order to get paid, in order to get your documents reviewed, you will need to create opportunities and submit your information this way. Each one of these phases here is something that you hand move. It is not something that automatically will do. Here under appointment, you see over here, I have it in, there it goes. I have it in my appointment area. Say I made the appointment, closed the appointment, and we are now in contract. So if you go back here to the opportunity dashboard, you'll see that it moved from the active phase into the under contract phase. Now, again, this is just for your information. This is the listings. There is one for buyers. You can, I believe these tabs, you can use them how you want to do. In order to get paid, let's move on to that part now. I'm going to go up here. You can see everything that you have listed here, all your clients and where they are in the phase. I'm going to go ahead and choose this one, Lisa Jenkins. She's got, we're going to do a listing. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. So one of the things that I found out in between my last class and this class is when you have a listing, you will need to select it. And I believe it pulls from KWLS and it pulls from the MLS, but I'm not exactly sure. Your listings will need to be in KWLS, and I believe that the Market Center has the ability to pull that over. You can click all listings and it'll pull up all listings in, well, right now it's pulling Iowa. Maybe I'm not sure why, but you can type in, I'm just going to choose an address. And I'm going to select it. And we're going to pretend it's mine. This doesn't do anything to the MLS. It doesn't do anything anywhere else. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So the listing has been selected. It's in here as if in contract. The seller profile, this is if your information is in the contacts, okay? Your documents tab, this is where you're going to load your documents for review. We're going to select the status. Maybe not. Here we're listed. These are the documents that we need to upload. Once they've been uploaded, you'll then submit to Market Center. One thing that we have also found since the last class, that you can only load one document into each category. So say there's multiple, well, not on the listing side, you're really not going to have very much. But once you get under contract, you're going to click under contract, and these will be the documents that you'll need to load. We had a situation where there was more than one contingency removal. So you will need to add a new custom folder, put in the name of it, and then create the folder, and it will give you a new, it'll give you a new area to load documents. I don't know where it went though. Huh. Oh, here. You just add documents. I'm not sure. One of the agents in the office was able to do that. I think someone's on that had that situation. If they're comfortable, maybe they can let us know whether or not they could load more than one document into this folder. And like I had said before, for those of you that came in late, please feel free to unmute and ask a question if you have any questions, or if you have any information to kind of chime in. We're in this as a group and we're all learning it together. I kind of just am taking the lead on it. But if there is any questions, please feel free. I do not mind the interruptions. I'd rather the questions be asked while we're there so that you don't lose the thought. Okay, so any questions in regards to loading your documents? It is different than SkySlope. You will not be able to split the documents in this area. you will have to split the documents and then load them. If you have DocuSign attached to and connected, that's something that Jacqueline and Olivia can help you with. You can click Start Transaction, and that'll be easier for you to be able to load the documents that way. Any questions in regards to the loading of the documents? It looks sort of similar to SkySlope. The list for each section is exactly the same. It's been pulled directly. I entered everything in directly from what was in SkySlope. Once you are under contract, these would be you would click here, the new documents that you need for the actual transaction are here. And then once you are, I would say, a couple days before closure, where, when you get the FERPTA and then the escrow, the commission demand, this is where you would load that. And then closing as the closing docs, which I believe the office might be doing, or if your TC gets them, I believe that your TC will load them. And then the MLS printout listed sold. So once you do that, then you'll submit to MCA once your section is completed or once you need it. Mark will be able to give you feedback on your documents, and I believe that you'll get a tickler or an email from him through command telling you if there's anything that needs to be revisited. Once you get that done, here on our offers, so at the top you have details, seller profile, and then your documents, and then offers. When you have a listing, some people like to keep track of all of the offers. It is a lot of work to put them all in, but maybe the top 3 you can add. So you have to add an offer, whether it's on the listing side or the buyer side. Most of you who are buyer or representing the buyers, you're only going to really have one offer because it's going to be your client's offer. So in order for this to be available for you to submit to the market center, you will have to enter in an offer. So we'll go ahead and do this. We're going to call it initial offer. You can call it whatever you'd like. The offer date we're going to say is today, and the close date that we're proposing it would be 30 days. So we're going to say August 20th. The seller is Lisa Jenkins. She was the person that I clicked in the beginning. And the buyer is going to be Isaiah. This is for your information, the market center. I don't think we're keeping track of whether or not they're pre-qualified or pre-approved. The buyer's agent, you would want to put their information here. Their email, their phone number is, I would say it's pretty necessary because I think we run reports. And so that helps the office. But here we're going to click on terms. So in the terms, the cash deposit we're going to say is going to be $20,000. And then the amount they're going to finance is going to be $980. That will give us the full sales price. Any earnest money, I don't know if it's necessary to keep track of that, but if you want to, feel free. Option fee, I'm not exactly sure. I think I've said this every time. I don't know what that's for. I've never heard of it here in California, but if you guys have heard it and you know what it is, maybe shoot me an email and let me know. We give 3 days, 72 hours pretty much to have the buyer, if they want to rescind their offer, and then anything that the seller is going to contribute. This information is going to be the exact same as what is on the buyer side. So entering an offer is not going to change whether you're a listing agent or the buyer's agent. Clicking on agent analysis, this is for your information again. whether or not your pros and cons in regards to this. Maybe you want to review the offers with your client after you enter them in. You can put notes in here to where it'll help you out when you go to explain which offer you think is the strongest. That this is a good area for that. So here you can see that this is the one offer that we got on the property. We're going to go ahead and accept it. If there's 3 offers on that property, you can click on reject, accept. Say this one, we accept it, and then they terminated it. And so then the clients, we actually fell onto the next one and accepted the second offer. You can still, after you accept it, you can still go back in and hit change response. And it'll go back, and then we can go in and reject it. Any questions in regards to this place here? Is there anything in the chat, Olivia?
No, there isn't.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So I'm going to go ahead and change the response and hit accept. Once you accept an offer, the commissions area now is active. Clicking on commissions, the contract date is when we want to go ahead and put that in there, is what we're saying is going to be the initial contract date. We're going to say it was today, the 20th. 1 unit. If you're representing both sides, I'm wondering, we tried this before, you cannot change it. So I have to verify on whether or not you have to enter in more than one opportunity in order to do dual agency. The last person that I helped with this, they represented both sides. I just asked them to make sure that they let Stacy know, so that when Stacy created the commission demand, it reflected that there was 2 units, that they were representing both sides, the listing client and the buyer's client, so that when the information was sent over to title, it was correct. At this point, I don't know. It looks like you would have to do 2 unless you communicate with your MCA and have that conversation. The documents obviously are going to be the same for both the listing and the buying side. So loading documents twice is kind of it's a duplicate, obviously, of the work. And so I don't think that that is necessary. But that is something that we'll have to get with Stacy and Mark on to make sure that we have the correct information. So I'm going to go ahead and save this here that I've entered in the contract date. So now everything's updated here correctly. Down here on the agent payment area, there's 1 agent unit. You have the agent's gross commission based at 2.5% on $1 million. This is how much the check will be for the agent. And then this is what we're anticipating the closing date and the payment date. There is a way, if you have any questions in regards to this information, please feel free to let me know. But this is your agent royalty, and then the company split, and then the total. There is the ability to edit this information, not the royalty and not the commission, but you can add your KW cares in here. You can add your, if you want to do any bold scholarship, or if you want to do anything else. I know a lot of you, we're going to say deduction. A lot of you will pay for staging. So we're going to say there's $1,000 paid for staging. It's good that you get their information here, because at $1,000, we would need to send them a 1099. So having them fill out a W-9 is a very good idea. So we're going to call this staging, and it's going to be paid to Staging Inc. and the address. Say that. And then a phone number. And we're going to add that. We also have a TC fee, so we're going to add that. And then we're going to save the changes. And you'll see that that has now been added. Oh, I sure don't know how to spell. Sorry about that, guys. And then it'll tell you how much your check is. Here's also a summary of the information. And here's where you can let Stacy know and then once you're done, you would hit submit and it'll get sent over to Stacy at that point. Does anybody have any questions? Because that is actually the end of the presentation.
No.
You're
Hi.
good. Hi.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, this is Grace Kang. I have a listing. I'm trying to find on the system. I cannot find it. How will we find the listing there?
So I'm going to remove this one.
Begin.
So I'm going to remove the listing and now we're going to select a listing. You saw that at the beginning, right? Up at the top. So it's going to show up right here next to your name. Select listing. So you're saying did you see that, Grace?
I'm looking for, you check on the, your name, check on your name, right?
Yeah. And then right next to your name, it says select from listings.
So is it somewhere like a house, the house you have there?
Oh, okay. So are you here at the little hand opportunities?
Little hands of opportunity. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
So
see the
when you click-
opportunity there. Yes.
Okay, so when you click on this, did you started to create it? Go to all opportunities.
You just create an opportunity?
Did you create one already from that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You have to have an address, right?
Okay, so before you get to that area, you would need to create an opportunity.
Okay.
So
I see.
you create an opportunity. You pull in your client that you're working with.
Okay.
So we're going to say.
How do you pull in the client?
So do you have your clients? Do you have your clients added?
Client name. Okay, got it.
So you're gonna. So once you start typing, it'll give you a list of people. You click on the right one that you want, and you're hoping to close this person, say by.
I created.
You did.
I created, and then you select from listing, right?
Yeah. So when you open the opportunity.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. I don't find it in the select listing there. I have my own listing.
Okay. So is your listing on, it's on the MLS?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So go ahead and go in. I'm going to remove this one. So select from listings.
You put the street address or?
Yeah. So when you click on that, select from listings, it gives you this page. I would do all listings, all statuses, and then start typing. What is the address?
315 Meadow Lake.
Meadow Lake?
Meadow Lake, 350 Meadow Lake. Yeah. I'm searching and only my listing. No, it doesn't see all listing. Meadow Lake, maybe I need to put more at street, city.
Hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't show. Only my listing. Oh, all listing. I'll do all listing. Oh, now I see it. But now
Did
I
you
see
find
it.
it?
I have. I can do select.
Yeah, so click on your listing, or click on the one you're saying it is. Hit select, and it'll fill it in.
Oh, okay.
Did it work?
Yeah, yeah. I got it. Do we have to save it?
I believe it should stay there now.
Huh?
When you select it, it'll be there. The address should be in there.
Oh, I think I don't connect the contact with the opportunity. I don't connect each other, probably. I
Maybe
have contact, but I have listing. They not connect, so it doesn't show.
I'm not sure. I'd have to see your screen. Is that something that you and I can talk offline, maybe?
Okay.
Okay. I'll get your. Huh?
Thank you. Selected.
It did select? Okay. So it stayed. So now you can move on to documents, and the address is still there up at the top. Okay. Is there any other questions? Is anybody there?
I'm not seeing any in the chat.
All right. Well, then that concludes. I believe that we recorded this, right?
Yes, this is recorded.
Okay.
One quick
Yes.
question. This is Melissa. First of all, thank you so much for doing this for us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I was just taking a look at the buying side, and it doesn't have this select from listing option next to the name. Is there a place for that when you're putting an offer in?
I think that might only be on the listing side.
Okay.
So on the buyer side, you wouldn't need that because it's not your listing. So basically what's happening is our system is supposed to pull everything through from the MLS into KWLS, which is the Keller Williams listing syndicating system. And so once that's done, you should be able to pull it that way. But on the buy side, you don't need that because I'm sorry, let me back up. You would enter the property address here. So you can, this information is edited, you can put it in that way.
Okay, so this address here on this page, where it says property, that would be the property that we're putting the offer in. And
Yes.
if the property is rejected and we move forward with putting an offer in on another property, we'd go back in there and manually change that?
Yes, you can do that.
Great, thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Is there anything else? One thing on that though, Melissa, because I know that if it's just an offer being put in, I think you're okay. But say you're further along in the transaction and something happens and the sellers pull out or something to that effect, then you would need to upload a cancellation to the contract and then start a new transaction because the documents will be all different. And the ones that you've loaded, we still need to keep for however long it is that the DRE needs for us to keep them.
Okay, so if the offer is accepted, you go into contract and then something falls out, you would archive this and start a new opportunity completely?
Yes, or over here in this corner, it says lost opportunity. So once you click lost opportunity, it notifies the system that you're no longer, that your client is no longer going to be purchasing that one, but you will need to load a cancellation of contract here in the under contract area, you would need to make sure that that is loaded. It's here somewhere. Oh, I saw it earlier on the listing side. Well, that needs to be added in here into our checklist for just in case purposes.
Okay, great. And I did notice when you go to put the offer information in, it gives you the ability to pull the listing. It appears.
Oh, yeah.
In there.
I remember seeing that now that you said that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so very welcome. Any other questions?
Leslie, you have a few more questions that popped up in the chat. Once the questions got going, there looks like there's a few more there.
Yeah, Brian's asking, what's the difference between lost opportunity and archiving the opportunity?
Archiving it is obviously after the transaction has been closed and you no longer need to see it because it's moved on. That's when you would archive something. And then lost opportunity is when it has fallen out of contract. I hope that answers. Did that answer? Yeah.
Brian is asking a follow-up question. What if we made a mistake or just need to start over? Should we archive or mark as lost?
I would mark it as lost. That way Mark knows, and then maybe put a note. I believe that you're able to put notes in here, and you can save that note. And I believe that Mark will see that. I think there's also something in here under the documents page. Add a comment. Because your documents will still need to be reviewed.
Where do we locate our lost opportunities?
I believe that is still going to stay in your all opportunities phase here. So here at the dashboard, all opportunities, I believe that it stays in here. Maybe, I'm not sure, because it doesn't tell me. Let's see. The one that I had marked as lost was Lisa Jenkins. Oh yeah, so it stays there. See, this one's marked as lost. I guess it doesn't tell you though. You need to probably move it because it's sitting here under contract. See, this is the part of the system where you have to manually do things. Okay, so here, it's no longer in here. Unless this is it. Yeah, no. So it's no longer a part of your dashboard. See, it's not in here anymore, but it is still in your opportunities. Even though this one said this one is lost, it doesn't tell you. It doesn't add and collect or calculate as part of your potential income if you're keeping track of that, but it's still in there as the ability for you to go back and look at it later. I think that, let's see if we can change the phase. Oh, it's still inactive. That's right. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna move it. Is this the one? No. See, this is the part that gets a little confusing because I'm not exactly sure. This isn't the one that was lost. Sorry if I'm confusing anyone by my moving fast. I don't see it in here. So it looks like it removed it from my dashboard.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Brian.
Hi, if you go under the search where you were, that view with all opportunities, and I think if you click on filters, there is the radio button for include archived opportunities at the top. I think after you apply that, it should show. I don't know, I just saw that.
Let's see. Well, it is still here. It's this transaction right here that I hit at lost on. See how it's green? So it's still there. But the fact that it's showing as active on the, maybe I need to do this one. Maybe I need to reject. See how it's showing active? Yeah, see, it's not in here. Okay, that one is I'm gonna have to figure out and get back to you guys on, because it's not showing here in the active column or category. But when you click on all opportunities, it's not telling you, oh, that one's not lost. Oh, now it's gone.
I just had a glitch on mine, just moving a buyer around, practicing, and I had to refresh the whole thing for it to work
back up
properly. Yeah.
I'm gonna check the settings real fast. No. Oh wait, maybe this one's it. Okay, it moved it to the bottom. But the fact that it's still saying active right here, it makes me a little leery. But when I click on it, it does say lost opportunity. So maybe this is one of those things where we got to report back and give our feedback. Oh, please describe why the opportunity was lost. Buyer financing fell through. Okay, so now the opportunity has been updated. So maybe that'll change things. No, it's still showing active. But when you click on it, I mean, you'd have to just be aware of which one you're dealing with at that point. Yeah, so it removes it from your dashboard. So when you go to your dashboard, it will not show in your active column or even in your under contract column. This is a different one. Is it a different one? Yeah. So sorry guys, I have more than one Lisa Jenkins in there. But it is removed. It's no longer part of my dashboard as my under contract stuff. So I guess that's how you'll be able to keep track of what active contracts or what active opportunities you actually have going on. Okay. Does that make sense to anyone or everyone, I should say? Any more questions?
There's a few in the chat.
Okay.
Kenny has a follow-up on Brian's question. He asks, once you archive an opportunity, it's considered deleted, correct?
That I don't think it would be deleted because nothing is ever deleted. Even in SkySlope, the market center, we can still go in there and see it if you don't see it on your side. So we can't ever delete anything when it comes to a contract. We have to keep everything for at least 7 years, I believe it is. So it's never officially deleted.
Okay. And the next question, Brian has another question. He asks, for best practice, when is the best time to create and use the opportunity?
As soon as you get into contract. So as soon as it is accepted and you get that notification from the listing agent that your buyer's offer was accepted, create your opportunity at that point, because those documents, the sooner you submit documents to be reviewed, the easier it is for Mark to keep track of things and for Mark to let you know if you're missing anything. Also at that point, it also helps the market center be able to keep track of what commissions they need to be tracking as well. And in all honesty, I think that when you sign up with the market center, you're actually told that you're supposed to submit your documents within 48 hours for review at that point. And that's to cover ourselves for E&O insurance purposes and just to make sure that the documents are filled out correctly.
Leslie, can I join in on that one?
Sure.
I have some I have in Cultivate and in the process of setting up appointments. I went ahead and started the opportunity that early. Is that?
That is perfect. Like I said in the, I think that is amazing because you're utilizing the system for what it was intended for. So going back to Brian's question, Melissa, she's starting it as soon as she meets somebody. And that's basically what this area is intended for, because they want you to be able to start from the beginning of when you meet your client all the way through to when you close a transaction. So that you can be keeping track of who you're touching and who you're talking to. Is it helping you out, Melissa?
Yes, absolutely. And I have moved it up and back and forth a couple times as well.
Yeah. So with what she's talking about is in this phase, Brian, you take each person or each one, you can move each one of your opportunities manually. So we're going to go ahead and move these. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. What she's saying is that when she met, say she met, and it's in the hot. So under Cultivate, you have you're watching your client, you're nurturing, it's hot. Like they came to you and said, I was approved for $1 million. I want to start looking. They're hot at that point. Then it keeps track of where you are in the cultivating of your relationship with that client. And then once you move them and you set an appointment, you click like I did on the last one. You just click it and you just move them into the appointment phase. And then in appointments, you have them over here. You kept the appointment, you have it scheduled, or you're scheduling. There's a the ability, so it tells you down here your probable amounts of monies if you put anything with that client. Moving it, say, okay, now we're going into active. I'm actively looking for homes for this client. And it tells you, it keeps track of each person that you're dealing with. So you could have 10 in Cultivate, you have 10 appointments coming up. Sorry. you have 3 that are actively looking and you're showing homes to, and you have 3 that are under contract, and say you've already closed 3. So it helps you to keep track, and it's in the listing area, the buyers, and then leases. So it helps you to keep track, keep your clients in the specific categories that they are actually in. So does that, Melissa, go ahead and do you have any examples of how this is benefiting you?
Well, one of the examples is I had a listing agent in Cultivate. Then we went ahead and did an appointment over the phone, but I didn't count that as the full-on appointment, so I kept it in scheduling until that we could actually sit down face-to-face because she is out of town. Mm-hmm. Then shelter-in-place hit, so I moved it back over to Cultivating and just kept up with my phone calls and sending notes and staying connected as if I was nurturing. And now we're starting to discuss scheduling an appointment again. So I'm moving her back over into appointments.
Nice, nice. So
and I have one more question too, mm-hmm. when we're good to move on for the topic, and it has to do with referrals. Mm-hmm. I have a referral in North Carolina. I created an opportunity. He went under contract and then fell out of contract, so I moved him back over into searching. When I created the opportunity, it asked for commission. So I just did the math of figuring out what my 25% would be of the 2.5. Is that okay on your guys' side, or is there some other way we should be handling referrals in the opportunities?
So in actuality, the market center, we don't even see what your opportunities are. So whatever you put in there is for your records. The only thing we will ever see is once you turn that opportunity and you start loading your documents.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So, and I'm glad that we're having this conversation because this is actually the first time I'm actually talking about the actual dashboard, and not just for the submitting of your documents to the market center and then for your commission demand. As well. I do think that this is a great tool for you guys to utilize for the keeping track of your clients in whatever phase they're in, especially if you, some of you rainmakers have assistants. You can move things around after you've talked to your clients so that your assistants know where they're supposed to jump in and where they're supposed to be doing follow-ups, or doing any of the paperwork submission, or you know how you have assistants that will call somebody to do the staging. So this is actually a great tool for you to work with your team as well. So any more questions?
Leslie, there's a few about Sky Slope. Can you answer when we're going to be phasing out of that, and if TCs can still help their agents?
So what I would suggest is that you get your TCs into coming to one of the classes, or even watching the video once Olivia has it loaded. I will do one-on-one training, but we will be trying to move to Sky Slope, I believe, by the end of this year. We're actually currently working with someone to archive all of the old and download all of the old transactions so that we can phase out of Sky Slope. We're pushing to have if you could start with your new transactions to start being done in Command instead of using Sky Slope, so that we can phase out of it.
Thank you. Those are all the questions that I'm seeing.
Hi, Leslie.
Uh-huh.
Hi, it's Hilda. I just wanted to emphasize how important it is to start adopting Command for a multitude of reasons. One, that Keller Williams is keeping a very close eye on adoption and wants to make sure that everybody is moving as quickly as possible to Command. And especially for the reason that you just noted, is that we're hiring someone to go back and take all of the older records off of SkySlope and archive them. So we don't want to have agents pushing that number and that project out until December 31st, and then we've got to keep this new, person on longer. There will be a time that we will have to cut that off and move everyone onto command directly. So the sooner you get in there and start learning, I think the better off we'll all be. So please just make an effort to do that.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? I would love to answer them if you have any.
Hi, Leslie. This is
Yeah.
Brian Pastor.
Hi.
Hi. I just put a question. I just didn't want it to get overlooked. I was kind of.
Yeah, I actually just opened it up. I was letting Olivia take a look at it and monitor them, but we are migrating away from SkySlope. We are basically going to be phasing it out. Command is part of the tech fees that you guys are paying for every single month. So it's literally costing you $15, I think, or something to that effect, $25, something in there, every single month for you to use this. It is part of the technology that Keller Williams is giving you. SkySlope is an on top of expense that we are paying as a market center. So if we can use the free, you know what I mean? Like it's part of all of the other technology.
Right.
And it also, if you were to use it as your marketing, because it offers you all of that, where you can do all of your marketing, all of your campaigns, everything out of this system, you can actually phase and get rid of those extra costs as an agent on top of what it is you're already doing, because it's included in this package.
Okay. I guess I'll save for the next class or
Especially the CRM feature.
All that.
I'm sorry, what was that, Brian?
I think I don't know if it's okay for this class or maybe another one to figure out how to connect like SkySlope for digital for document signing to command.
For DocuSign?
Yeah.
I believe that Olivia and Jacqueline are able to show you how to do that.
Okay.
Olivia, you want to chime in on how, if that is part of your class?
I don't teach a class on that, but I do have videos that I could send you, Brian, that will show you how to do that.
Okay. I've been just having a rough time with it and trying to reach out to DocuSign, and they opened up a ticket and closed it on me. And so, well, I got to figure out how this is supposed to work.
So let me show you where you can, I'm not exactly sure where you link it, but if you go to your all opportunities, I'm going to get off of the chat. And here under documents, when you click on start a transaction, that is where you are supposed to be able to grab everything from DocuSign. So where you have to link it, that I'm not sure. So I would definitely, Olivia, if you could send that link out or that video out to everyone who would like it. If you want it, just let her know, and then go from there. But this is where you would do it. So when you're in your opportunity under the documents tab, start a transaction is how you'll get those documents from DocuSign.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So Maureen, I saw your question or your comment in regards to the CRM for commercial. I do not know when that is going to happen. I think that's something that we would need to check with the region on how and when that's going to happen.
Well, the other thing is that build out we send through flyers, and it looks like you're doing marketing. So how do we connect? Like, can you, sorry, I had Haley's here for the summer and I couldn't get in the beginning, and I've seen some before, but you know where you have your marketing and the flyers? How do we combine what build out and client look are doing with this?
Yes, that I don't know. I don't know. And that is something that is on top of, so that's in these areas.
Yeah.
So that's something that I believe, so if you log in here And this is for everyone.
Where are you? Up there? Okay.
If you log in here, over here by your name, there should be a link that says command training.
Uh-huh.
And if you click on command training, there is tons of videos that you can watch that will lead you to that information. So I'm ready to use command. You just get started.
Yeah. No, I think we went over it. You were with Sarah. That's fine. But I don't think that the commercial's
not in there yet. I think that's something that we're going to have to get to. So, but for everybody else, you can start here adding in your contacts and your smart plans. That'll walk you through how to use it for your marketing. And then over here, designs, campaigns, and different sites. So, and your websites, I'm sorry, to get that stuff going. So everybody knows that you have a free website as well through this. I believe that that's something that is set up for you, but you can kind of tweak it, add your blogs, do different things to it, and this will walk you through that.
Do you have a certain way? Because I can't get it to connect to when people look at my website. It's the basic Keller Williams. It's not that. So
that's not something that I cover. That's something that you would have to maybe talk with Olivia and see if she can direct you and get you some of that information.
Okay, great.
Okay. Is there any other questions? I'm going to check the chat real fast. No? All right. Well, if there's no other questions, then I'm going to go ahead and end. I appreciate you all for your time, and you can shoot me an email, ljenkins@kw.com, if you have any questions, or I also will do, basically I'll answer questions, and if you have a need of your TC getting a one-on-one, you let me know. Oh, it looks like there's another question in the chat.
Thank you, Leslie.
All right, you're so welcome. Thank you everyone for joining in. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, bye. Thanks, Leslie.